third-ranked Texas A&M. They're undefeated. They're coming off a bye, and they're traveling to a Missouri team that's reeling from quarterback injuries, but as a maverick, a wizard of a head coach in Eli Drinkwitz, and he has a bye too. This will be Texas A&M's third straight road game. This will be Missouri's first home game in over 2 weeks. You had that, bye, then the road game against Vanderbilt where they unfortunately had both of their quarterbacks go out due to injury. This will be a 3:30 p.m. game on ABC. Missouri top 20 ranked 6-2, 2-2. Do not think they're one of these teams that is overvalued. I think if healthy, 19th would be too low, but unfortunately they are banged up. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself and this channel. A&M, third-ranked, 8-0, 5-0 in SEC play. They're favored by 7.5 points. What a job by Mike Elko this year. Phenomenal coaching job. And also, I think, a good coaching job by Drinkwitz. And if Drinkwitz is able to win this game, we're talking about someone who should be competing for the SEC Coach of the Year award. This A&M team has had some issues on defense throughout the year, but that win over Notre Dame is a signature win. They got Brian Kelly fired and set Tiger Stadium on fire, got Billy Napier fired, were able to pull away from Mississippi State. This is a team that really, in the second half, just turns it on. I was just finishing up kind of a rant that I had about how no team that wins it all this year is going to even come close to the teams of the past 10 years and even to a lesser degree the previous 5. But Texas A&M, to a little bit of a degree, reminds me of a Walmart 2022 Michigan, where you're close with everyone in the first half. You're not, at least as of right now, the best team in America, but you're one of the best. And you can end up being the best at the end of the year. And in that second half, you just turn the knob, you turn up the volume, and your opponent's ears start bleeding, and they can't handle it. But you can. So you beat them. And you, in some cases, you just destroy them, as you did LSU and as you did Mississippi State and Florida specifically in that second half. And you beat a tough, physical Notre Dame team on the road. For Missouri, had a very easy, beneficial schedule that they took advantage of. And they nearly beat Alabama, I think showed how legitimate they were. They were able to survive Auburn on the road, which, with how Missouri plays and with Auburn's defense, it's the only defense, along with Ohio State's and Indiana's, that has not allowed more than 24 points this year. And Auburn doesn't have an offense to go with that. So you played one of the best defenses in America. Were able to come out with an overtime win. And then the Vanderbilt game, if Pribula's healthy, I don't know, maybe you do win. But Vandy had you dead to rights with efficiency stuff and the big plays. Another close loss. Missouri is 1-2 in close games. If you want to include just single-digit margins of victory, then they're 2-2, including that South Carolina win. This is going to be their second toughest test behind Alabama, because I do think A&M is a significantly better team than Vanderbilt. They may not match up as well against Missouri in theory that Vandy did, but A&M is ranked third for a reason. They're 8-0 for a reason, and you still have games at Oklahoma and then at Arkansas. It's a tough stretch in November for Missouri. But if anyone can overcome adversity, if anyone can utilize their roster, have it punch above its weight class, I believe that is Eli Drinkwitz. Genuinely believe that. He is one of the better coaches in the SEC, one of the better coaches in college football. So let's talk about the roster that Missouri and A&M have here. For the Tigers, pay attention to Ahmad Hardy and Kevin Coleman Jr. and Keegan Trost on offense, and Caden Green. They have a wonderful offensive line. Hardy is a wonderful running back. Kevin Coleman Jr. has been an effective wide receiver. They are starting a very young, new, very green quarterback that I don't think they ever expected to play this year. That is going to be very difficult for Missouri to do. Yeah, they're going to. I mean, they're the quarterback they're going to be starting isn't even listed on the depth chart by our lads. It just isn't. It shows Bo Perbula and Matt Zollers, and Zollers was a true freshman, so I don't know who they're going to be playing at QB. But the line is 7.5 and not 14.5 for a reason, because outside of some of the offensive weapons they have, Chris McClellan, Damon Wilson, and Zion Young, that is one of the better defensive fronts, not just in the SEC, but in the land. They get pressure. They stop the run. Josiah Trotter has been an incredible linebacker for them. They have really put things together on defense, and Corey Batoon has manned a great offense, and great defense, and Kirby Moore has manned a great offense. Drinkwitz's staff is one of the better staffs in the SEC and in the nation. For A&M, preseason, I actually had this staff, I believe, third in the SEC, just behind Georgia and Texas. And for a brief moment there, I actually picked them to go 10-2 and go to the playoffs. Then I went off of it. For the sake of getting Florida an extra win. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I mean, I have a video on it. It's on record that I at least had them flirting with the playoffs. I was higher on them than most were. Picked them to go over their win total pretty comfortably. Thought 7.5 was way too low. And they did. I mean, they already have. They're 8-0. Even if they lose out, they're over their preseason win total of 7.5. But if only I stuck to that 10-2 prediction. Gosh. Marcel Reed, Mario Craver, Casey Conception, Trey Zunn III, Demetrius Crownover. They have a complete offense led by Colin Klein. And then defensively, Cassius Howell is 9.5 sacks. I think it's 10.5 now. You got Tareen York, Scooby Williams, Marcus Ratcliffe, Will Lee III. They have a wonderful operation at A&M. And I will tell you, I believe this game will come down to whether or not Marcel Reed can make those throws. And by those throws, you know what I'm talking about. Those NFL throws, those throws on 3rd and long. Can he stay safe with the football? And it also comes down to A&M's defense. You know, Missouri's going to be running a pretty one-dimensional attack. I would expect them to. Can you stop their ground game? Can you? Because they have had some issues this year. Texas A&M has. I mean, Texas A&M is 4th in adjusted EPA per play with a plus 0.24. Their success rate margin, yards per play, and EPA per play, however, are underwhelming compared to the rest of the teams surrounding them. And defensively, look, A&M's defense has done well, but they're allowing 5.5 yards per carry. They allow explosive runs. They have a good success rate against the run, but they allow some explosives here and there. It's a defense that's incomplete. So it's really an A&M game. If A&M shows up, they're definitely going to win. But if they have some issues, which they have shown throughout the year, and Missouri's able to exploit some things, the Tigers can certainly win. I'm not going to pick that to happen, though. I do think that A&M offensively will really kind of struggle in that first half. They'll do what they always do. First half, you are trailing at the half, or you're tied, or it's very uncomfortable. And second half, because they have offense and a capable QB, and it's not this kind of last-minute thing, although at least Missouri has a bye, they'll pull away, and they'll win. Staffs are pretty equal. Overall team goes to A&M, and A&M's edges on defense are much larger than Missouri's edges on defense. I'm pretty comfortable picking A&M to win and cover in this 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, 2:30 p.m. local time for both of these teams, as both are in the Central Time Zone, in this SEC battle. As for the SEC standings, if Missouri wants to go to the playoffs, this is a must-win. They're technically still in the fight for that, but I think that Drinkwitz and the staff knows it's going to take a lot of effort. For A&M, if they lose here, then welcome Georgia, Ole Miss, and potentially Texas for that conversation in Atlanta, especially given how A&M's regular season schedule has gotten weaker and weaker as time's gone on. But if they win here, I mean, it'll come down to that Texas game, and a win here likely puts A&M in a guaranteed spot to get a home playoff game, which would be pretty incredible given Mike Elko's in year 2 and the history of A&M within the SEC struggling with Kevin Sumlin and Jimbo Fisher to reach anything of significance. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.